This is New York Comic Con 2016, and I'm here with Comics Verse.
Hi, mindless ones, and welcome to another edition of Comics Verse. I'm Phil Casey here on day 3 at New York Comic Con. Joining me is the very talented Aaron Kuder.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm Aaron Kuder. Hello, home.
That's Aaron Kuder. Any memorable experiences so far this year at the convention?
The fire alarm going off in my hotel at 5 this morning was definitely a memorable experience. It's been great. Now, this has been one of my... New York Comic Con has always been one of my favorite shows. But this year in particular has just been fantastic. Like, the fans coming out, the love, the support, the people reacting to what has happened and what is going to happen. It's been great.
As an artist, I had read that you had a lot of European influences like Adams and Quitely and Roshinsky. For you, what drew you to that style, and how do you use that to influence your own work?
Sure. So when it comes to art styles, there's a look that's mostly Western art has. That's, it's more fill in blacks, it's more silhouettes, it's more speed oriented drawing. And the thing that I've always loved about Art Adams, Gregor Roshinsky, Mobius, Quitely, they have a 3D element. You can feel the texture of each character all around, and that weight that they give those characters is just, it's always appealed to me. Like, you can feel a punch landing, you can hear a back breaking, that's what has always pulled me to that. It brought me in more so than other stuff.
Before the interview, we were talking about that story arc where Superman has to deal with the Ultra Humanite in Action Comics, and that had like a very European feel to it in the way that the art was done. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a horror story, so I was able to the thing that was one of my favorite memories of working on Action was we were able to do a series of stories that were almost their own genre each. In what lies beneath. It was monsters and creatures and caves and things that go bump in the night. But it was like Indiana Jones in that sense. It wasn't really creepy. And then Super Doomed, and then when you go on to the Ultra Humanite story, it was bleak, and the mood was meant to be somber, and so I feel like you watch Slither a lot, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's cool that you'd be able to have a unique opportunity to put Superman in kind of a more hard and bleak setting like that.
Right, but still represent the elements of hope, the elements of what makes him a hero versus what makes him Superman versus what makes him just a hero.
Yeah, there's a good crossover of elements there.
Right.
Throughout your career, you've had the opportunity to work with a lot of talented writers like the video bombing Greg Pak and Jeff Lemire. What's your collaborative process been like working with such talented writers?
It changes with every writer. With Greg, it was almost instantaneously more of notes, counter notes. We worked in sort of a plot first sort of style. With Jeff Lemire and Charles Soule, it's been full scripts, and then I just kind of hack and slash my way through them. Each writer presents the story to the artist in their own way, and it's the artist's job to not just represent what the writer wants, but take that and make sure that they present that in the mood that the writer really wants. Sometimes that might, like, a scene can be described in a full script, and the way that I picture it won't be the same way that Jeff Lemire pictures it. But I know a way to get the same mood by doing something slightly different. So I'll do the mood and that is usually the most important part of telling comics stories.
You want to set a tone and establish the mood and everything.
Right,
yeah.
right.
That's cool. Recently, you came over to Marvel and you've been working on like Death of X and stuff. What's that been like for you?
It's been great. Wrapping up Death of X now and gearing up to hide away and pursue a super secrets project. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Super secret.
Super secret.
Okay.
Nope.
Not gonna ask a follow-up question there.
Nope. All right, go ahead.
What is the super secret project?
No.
I'm just kidding. For several years, you worked on Action Comics with Greg, obviously.
Yep.
You've took him from, like you said, beneath the earth, I think, where he was under the planet in the subterranean kingdom.
Right.
Very action and adventure oriented with all the sci-fi stuff, all the way to being depowered and the truth arc and everything.
Right.
It was a crazy ride. Any highlights coming from that? Any personal memories that pop out?
All of it. Working with Greg was really like lightning striking. I would work with him again in a heartbeat. We both wrap our minds around a project in a similar, or at least a complementary enough way that it was awesome. I particularly loved working on the Bizarro issue where Superman goes to Bizarro World, where he gets his beard smacked off of him. Yeah.
I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah. What Lies Beneath was awesome because that was us feeling out the way that we tell a story together. Doomed was fun because you got to redesign Doom and Super Doom and spiky people, stuff like that. And there's always a if you're doing your job right, you can always find something to appreciate about what you're doing, like some element of bringing it to life, whether it's a challenge or whether it's enthusiasm or whatever.
Like drawing spiky people.
Right. I went into that with enthusiasm, and then after 900 spikes, I'm like, all right, it's a challenge, but.
It's like doing the traction on Batman's boots. If you put too much detail into it, you have to do it every issue kind of thing.
I hate boots, but I always draw them. I draw them a lot, yeah.
Being at Marvel right now, is there any particular character that you want to get your fingers on? Who could it be?
I don't know. I grew up with Marvel characters. Spider-Man was my guy as a kid. I'd love to do anything with him. Space opera stuff. I was always such a big geek for all the Infinity War books growing up, and like the Rob Lim and Starkin works. It's just the crazier the better. That was always the stuff that I got drawn to. So
the next question I was going to ask you was about writers you wanted to work with. You mentioned the Infinity War stuff. I imagine Jim Starlin would be high on that list.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's getting to the point where I want to write more of my own. I want to tell my own stories, but every time I dive into that, it becomes harder to go back to drawing. So for the next couple of years, the plan is to just focus on drawing and then save up the stories.
Yeah.
Cool. And move forward like that. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much everything. Is there anything you want to plug or talk about that we didn't talk about?
Death of X, out now. Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, until next time, I'm Phil with Aaron Kuder. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Until next time, you make sure you like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and you can like us on Twitter or Facebook, all the social media apps. Until next time, take care.